This is Mr. Evilcheese, and this is my review of The Walking Dead McFarlane Toys Series 8 Morgan and Impaled Walker box set. Now this one I was really waiting on because that walker is just amazing looking, and I also like this. I like the trap in there too, but I really like the way that walker looked in the preview pictures, and I couldn't wait to get that one, and it looks like it's not going to disappoint. Also get another Morgan, just blood splattered. I kind of wish he had his season 3 outfit on in there, but oh wow. Still cool that he's blood splattered. I like how he's got bloods all over his walking stick and all over his jacket and everything. It looks like he doesn't come with his mask or his hood though, but you can get that with the regular single version. There's a nice picture of Morgan on the side. Oh, it even wraps around. I didn't notice that before. It looks kind of weird, like it's an alien when it's wrapped around a box, but looking at it from the front or from the side, it looks really cool. I like that picture of Morgan. There in the back, you can see, oh, the mushroom 10-inch. Can't wait for that to come out either. And you can see the other figures from Series 8. And various poses you can do with these figures. Picture of it on the side. Picture of Morgan up on top. And oh, let's open this thing. When you're opening it up, you can see this piece of the package has all the little spears in it that go onto the walker trap. So that's cool. I didn't even notice. I mean, I knew they were in the package, but I didn't notice them until I was actually opening it. Here's a look at the big wooden spool that's used as the walker trap. So you can see there's a bunch of little peg holes in there, and that's where you're supposed to stick these spears at. Stick them in here. I'm not sure if there's a certain pattern you gotta do. I'm assuming you can just stick them in there wherever you want, but maybe not. It actually looks like, see, there's sort of different shapes. That one's got a little funny shape on it, so there must be certain ones you put in certain places. Yeah, that's got a little weird shape on that one. So that one's shaped different. So yeah, I guess you got to put them in the exact right spots, and that one's shaped differently. So yeah, I got to match them up. Like playing that little baby's game where you match the things up to fit into the holes. We got to try that. Okay, but yeah, you can see all the spears have these, so you got to stick them in there all around. So I'll do that now. Well, these things are kind of hard to push in. This one broke already. So that's kind of annoying. I have to glue that in there. And it looks like there's also some indentations at the bottom to stick the bottom of the stick into. Bottom of the spear. Well, I got these in here and it really wasn't very easy because these things are really hard to push in. They feel like they want to break, and this one did break actually. It should go right there. I'm going to have to glue it. That sucks. But I don't really like how these pegs are sticking out. It doesn't seem like they want to go all the way in. They're really, really tight, and that kind of bugs me. Also, I tried to go by the picture there, but they don't seem to have them in the right spots on the picture, because there's one they have on there that has a certain weird shape to it, and the hole that it goes into is not where they have it on there, so I don't know. Can't really go by that picture. Also, how would a walker ever get impaled in these ones that are pointing straight up in the air? Are they going to walk up and be like, jump up on it? Now this one maybe, you can get him in the chest or something. Seems like it should be pointing out a little bit more, not so far up. Alright, so I got that one glued in. You can see it's in there. Still drying, but it's nice and tight. And yeah, it's kind of annoying it broke, but whatever. As for the spool itself, I think it looks pretty nice. However, I think the paint on there looks better. It looks more like, almost looks like real wood in the picture. This one just, I don't know, I think the paint's a little bit sloppier, but it's still decent. It's still shaded in like the grain of the wood, so it still looks nice for that. But I guess they would have painted these bolts up here, because they're just wood color right now. But yeah, it's still a really cool little trap. I just wish these kind of stuck out more. Also, it should have came with a little animal. If you remember in the show, the walkers were baited to these spools by animals in cages, like rats in cages. But I don't know, maybe they thought they would get in trouble if they did that, or I don't know. It'd be nice if they would have had an animal in there. You can see the sticks aren't all the same. Everyone's different. Like that one there, got a piece of cloth wrapped around it, and that one's got a little knot tied on that one. And yeah, they're all different. That one's got a piece of rope. So it's not like it's just the same spear over and over again. They're all different. Some of them fit into them little grooves at the bottom, okay, and then some of them didn't quite reach, like that one. And I could have it in the wrong spot, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. So here's the two figures that come with this box set, and I think they're both really cool. I was really looking forward to this walker here because I really like the design of the walker that I've seen in the pictures, and seen in person, I still really like it. It's really awesome. And it is cool to get a blood splatter Morgan. I do kind of wish he didn't have the same exact costume on as the other one in this line, the single version of Morgan. I was hoping, since, you know, it was season 3 that Morgan had these walker traps, so it would have been nice if he was in this season 3 attire, but nope, just the same old season 5 attire, only blood splatter. And there is a slight difference in the outfit, and that would be this hood on the back. Because the other one didn't have the hood down. You can only put the hood up or take it off. So that is a difference. It would have been nice if they would have both included both, like the hood down and the hood up. See there, you can see both Morgans next to each other. And you can see there's the hood down, and there's no hood. Or you can put the hood up on the single version. This seems to be glued in, you can't take it out. So if you wanted this hood to come out, you'd probably have to rip it out, which might damage the figure. Now the backpacks seem to be pretty much the same, painted the same and everything. And just like on my review for the single version of Morgan, it's hard to get this strap to go into the hole of the backpack. It's just hard to get it in there. And once you do kind of get it in there, it kind of pops back out. It's just really tight on him. They should have gave a little bit more slack, I think, to get that to work. Now, like I was saying, the single version comes with a hood piece, and this box set version doesn't. But the single version also comes with the alternate head with a mask. So if you want the mask and the hood to go over his head, you're going to have to get the single version. They both come with the assault rifle, though, and the walking stick. The only difference is the assault rifle and the walking stick for the box set one are covered in blood. And it looks really cool. I don't know what he is doing with that gun, beating people with it. But here's a close-up look at the assault rifle with the blood splatter. They did a nice job of blood splattering it. It seems like on metal that blood would be a lot more drippy. It would run down a lot more. But I'm getting picky there. It still looks cool the way it's splattered here. And it's got the nice strap. So pretty sure this gun was with several other figures. But it doesn't matter. It's still a cool gun. I don't mind getting it with Morgan. And here's his blood splattered walking stick. That looks awesome. They did a good job of painting blood on there. And I like the wood grain, just like on the single version of Morgan. Looks like the wood's a slightly different colors. The wood's a little bit darker on the box set version, though. I just noticed another slight difference. It ain't a really big deal, but it is a difference. This is the one that came in the box set version. It looks a lot glossier, like it's a glossier black. And this is more of like a flat matte paint black. So they are slightly different. I don't know why. It just seems like they'd be exactly the same, but they're different. Yeah, so there's Morgan looking badass with his gun. And there he is looking badass with his walking stick. And now let's go over Morgan himself. And it appears that he's got some kind of disease on the top of his head there. You can see, I don't know what that little orange spot is. You can see the single pack version does not have that orange spot. But other than that orange spot, they did a really nice job of painting him. I think the sculpt's there, and I think they did and the paint's there too. It just looks really nice. Now, the hair does look a little splotchy, but that's because Morgan's hair is so short. And the actor, when you see him on the show, you can actually see his scalp a little bit. It shows through his hair, and I think that's what they're trying to do here. Seems like that would be difficult to pull off, and I think it works. And here's his jacket. I like the sculpt of the jacket. It's kind of plain, but the blood splatter really adds to it. I really like the blood splatter. That's one thing they're really good at, was that looks like pretty much believable splatter all over him. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He must have been really beating the shit out of a zombie with that stick. Now, there's even a little bit on his sleeve over here. That's cool. Then it's all over his pants and his shin guards. And I like them shin guards too. I like the sculpt of that and the paint. And got some blood on his foot there. Well, that's the same on this one. I was saying on this review, this single pack, it looks like he's got just a little bit of blood splatter on this shoe. Now, someone was saying he's just got red laces, but if he does, then they're only partly red, because you can see there's dark laces and there's red laces. So I don't know. I think I may have gotten a blood splattered foot on this Morgan. It wasn't supposed to. I don't know if all the single pack Morgans have that, or if it's just I got a mixed up foot. Because you can see this one has that blood splatter on the foot, kind of the same. I like them shin guard straps. They're nice. You can see the articulation that kind of clicks into place there. It's got some nice shoes. Next, they look a little different. And there's some tread on the bottom of the shoes. And here's his back. Not a whole lot of blood spatter on there, just a little bit on his arms, you can see. Did a good job of making his jacket look worn. His pants, too. So I really like the paint on this figure. Really like the sculpt. I just kind of wish, like I said, I wish he was wearing the Season 3 outfit to go with his walker trap. And now for the figure I really wanted out of this box set, since, you know, you can get the single pack Morgan. I wanted this walker, because it's really the only walker that's in Series 8, which is weird. I mean, the only walker you can get is in the box set. I think that's the first time that's happened. There's always been a walker in the series, but this is just an awesome walker. And really, this is the first true woman walker, because like full woman. I mean, because the first female walker was the Bicycle Girl zombie, who was ripped in half, can only crawl. And then the second female walker would be the comic series Penny, which is just a little girl. So this is really the first full-grown woman walker. And it seems kind of weird. Like, there's so many female walkers on the show, it seems like there would have been a few more. I really like the sculpt of this face. It looks messed up. I mean, in a good way. Now, the paint is a little sloppy, though. I mean, a zombie's face is sloppy looking, but it just seems like maybe the paint's a little sloppy here. Could have been better. But they still did a pretty good job. And she does look creepy. Like that hair. The face is just, yeah. Looks like part of her cheek got ripped off, bit off or something. You can see her neck's kind of messed up down onto her chest. Ugh. What are those slices in her neck? That's nasty. And there you can see the hole in her stomach. So you can make it look like she's impaled on that walker trap over there. And I'll do that in a minute. You can see she's got a little pocket on her shirt. Lots of wrinkles on this shirt. It's all ripped up on the bottom. It's a really awesome walker. Like a slice in the back of her. This walker's been through some shit. Arms are all messed up, mangled up. Maybe she's crawling through some barbed wire or something. She's just mangled. Skin's ripped off of her arm there. Some ripped off of her hand. This is just a really awesome walker. Even like her leg. You can see up there in her leg's all chewed up. There she's got a shoe still on. Got some wounds on that leg in there. I like the greenish tone of that. That looks really cool. You can see her bottom of her foot. And she's got this really long dress with a big rip down the front of it. Some rips along the bottom. Some really nice big wrinkles on them too. So this is very different from any walker they've released so far. And there in the back here, she's got that little bow or whatever tied up. Now I'm going to stick her on here and have her impaled. And it looks like it's supposed to be this one, because this is the one that's all bloody. And also it seems to be the one that's pointing down the furthest. So it's almost believable that she can get impaled on it. But for where the hole is, she would almost have to kind of jump. I want that animal that should be there. But whatever. It still looks cool when she's impaled in there. I mean, that just looks awesome. Definitely going to get a rat or something. A little toy rat and stick in there. Need to make a cage or something. That looks cool. See, it's weird. It definitely looks like it's going after something right there, but there's nothing there. They really should have included the rat in the cage. Despite all my ways, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Despite all my I am still just a walker in a walker trap. Morgan's just getting ready to clear or whatever. Clear her off of there. She's reaching, trying to get him, but she's stuck impaled. That looks really cool with that stick going up into her stomach with all that blood coming out of there. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, the pincushion zombie doesn't really work with this. He does have some holes in him that you can get one of these spears starting to go through, but it doesn't go through all the way. It goes in about that far in that hole, and this hole down here goes in about there. So you can be stuck on it, just it's not going to impel them all the way unless you drill a hole bigger in them. These two look like they should go together. They both got holes in their body. They're both really, really ripped up, like they've been through a lot of shit. And they're both really awesome. She can stand on her own, as you can see. Like, I think if you extend her arm all the way out, it might be a little bit more difficult to get her to stand. Well, she's doing it, just barely standing there with her arm all the way out. But, yeah, the dress helps her stand up. So, you don't gotta worry about her falling over too bad, but it seems like most people are probably going to display her impaled. So, for most people, that's a non-issue. As you can see, she's not too much shorter than Morgan when she's crouched down like this. So if she stood straight up, this would be a really tall woman. Like, I think she'd probably be like there. So this is a really big woman here. She's like freaking, what's her name? Brianna Tarth or something. She's huge, but it's not really that noticeable when she's crouched down like this. If you have an extra flue walker or maybe some other extra walker, just drill a hole through them and stick them on one of these other spikes, and you can have a couple of them stuck there. And I found a little rat that came with a Nosferatu figure. It just needs a cage though, because it wouldn't make sense if the rat's just standing there for no reason. And seeing as how Morgan comes with a big long stick and she has a big hole in her stomach, you can make it look like he impaled her with a stick. That looks really cool. Looks like he might get possibly infected by a scratch. I don't think they ever completely confirmed that a scratch would do it, though. They said that maybe. I don't like the idea of a scratch doing it. But that's a discussion for a different video. Now as for articulation, you can see he's got a little side-to-side action, which I showed off in the single pack version. So his head's a little more articulated than most of the figures. He'd be like or something like that. Whereas in the other videos, like the "oh no you didn't" head, and yeah, really good articulation at the head. I'm assuming you can probably pop this off. Let's try that. Yep, you can pop that off easily. Stick on the head from the other version, but you can't really do much about the hood because he's already got his hood on there. So you just have to have his hood down. And like I was saying, the head popping off is really smooth and doesn't feel like it's going to break at all like some of the previous series. Really nice head switching action or whatever. The shoulder articulation is pretty good on him. It's not perfect. Like, it gets a little bit hindered by just how wide the jacket is here, hitting the top of the torso part of the jacket. But it's still pretty good articulation at the shoulders. At the elbows, it gets to about 90. With this walking stick and the fighting stances he goes into, I kind of wish he had a little more articulation there. But what are you going to do? 90 degrees is pretty good. And there's some really nice articulation at the wrists. These wrists feel a little better than some of the previous series, because some of them are really, really flimsy. These ones don't seem too bad, actually. It feels a little sturdier. So there is good articulation at the wrist there. Then we got down here at the hip area. And the articulation is really good, but it's not perfect because it is hindered by the jacket. His legs can't go all the way out, so you can't have him sitting down flat on the ground. You may be leaning up against something like that, but you can't, you can't go into a full sitting position. You can kick out to the sides fairly decently though. So you can use a little of his newfound ninja skills that he learned from a friend. Go to about 90 degrees on his knees. And he can also spin around like that, in case you want him doing some kind of crazy dance pose or something. And there's a little tiny bit of articulation on his ankles. Just basically back and forth. It doesn't really go forward and back very well. It's kind of twists. So he's got some good articulation. It's just not the best. It's definitely a little better articulated than, like the Series 4 and 5 figures. had that very limited articulation at the hips. Not like most walkers, she's limited in some of her articulation and can't really do a whole lot in some areas, but her arms aren't too bad. This one arm can move around pretty well, at the shoulders at least. Actually, spin around on the shoulders a lot more than most of the human characters. But at the elbow, it's a little limited there. You can't get a 90 degree. Well, maybe you can. Almost a 90 degree. And then the wrist, the hand just spins. That's it. But that's still a pretty good articulated arm. This arm, it's about the same actually. I didn't think it was going to move as much. So you got about the same, almost the same articulation as this arm. This arm just seems to be able to move around a lot more than this one to shoulder. That goes more than 90 on this elbow. And this wrist also just spins. There is tiny bit of articulation at the waist here, not much. But what about the legs? Yeah, it looks like there's some articulation up there, but I don't think it's going to do much. This dress is really stiff, so even if there was articulation, you're not going to get much out of it. Yeah, you can't really do anything with this dress on. Actually, it looks like it's fully sculpted up there. You might be able to rip the dress off and have a have a naked butt zombie walking around. But I ain't gonna do that. I don't want to mess up my figure. So maybe if you want to buy an extra one and rip her skirt off, you can have a naked butt zombie. So I'd say I'm really happy at this box set. I was a little disappointed that the one of the stick kind of broke off, but I easily fixed it with glue. And I kind of wish the pegs would go into the holes a little further. And maybe a little bit better in the paint job, but the paint job really isn't that bad. It's halfway decent, I'd say. So I am happy at the trap. It is cool. I do think it should have came with a little animal in a cage, though, so the walker actually had a reason to get itself impaled on that. Like I said, I do wish that he had his Season 3 attire on instead of the Season 5 attire. But whatever. The blood splatter is cool. I like it on his walking stick, and I like it on his gun. It's a cool blood splatter. Did a really nice job painting that on there. I like that walker. That's a walker that's really different from any others because it's really the first full-grown woman walker that's not ripped in half like Bicycle Girl or a little girl like Penny. So that's really cool. And the dress, the big long dress, makes her stand out from the other walkers too. And just the ripped up details of her dress and shirt are awesome. And the blood splatter all over. And she's got a lot of wounds on her too, all over her arms and legs and face. I mean, it really looks like she is ripped up by something. Like, I was thinking like barbed wire, or maybe just other walkers when she was still human ripped her up. I don't know, but she's just messed up. And I like it. It's a really cool, really cool walker. One of my favorites. Well, this is Mr. Evilcheese, and thanks for watching, and goodbye. And thanks for everybody on my Dale and Rick Grimes Series 8 reviews for saying get better, because I had some kind of allergy attack and my nose was like driving me nuts and I was sneezing. I didn't actually sneeze in the videos, but in between clips I was sneezing. Damn, that was annoying. But I didn't have a cold, just an allergy thing. It's gone already. I was surprised everybody noticed. I didn't think it was that noticeable, but yeah, I'm better now. I've seen everything, Rick. I've seen walkers that were flattened by cars except for the head, and the head was still trying to bite me. I've seen walkers that were melted together by fire, walking in a big group of disgustingness. I've seen a walker with all its limbs cut off, trying to squirm across the ground at me. I've seen everything, Rick. Everything on my journey to find you. Who the hell's making that Superman song? I think it might be them. I was wrong, Rick. I hadn't seen everything yet. Until now. Rick, should we kill them? Do you have kryptonite? Well, that's your answer.
Oh, damn it, man. You see them other pictures there? Why don't you click on one of them to see the video? Or you could subscribe, Nate. Oh,